Hey Survivor! Happy New Year! I cannot believe that we are about to go into 2024. And I just wanted to pop on here. I actually have not filmed a video on this channel since New Year's Eve of 2022, where I did a garden tour. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. And I love reading your comments. If you've shared my video content, thank you so much for sharing so that I can help other survivors. I see you, I hear you, I appreciate you. And if you've commented, I've responded to you and I will continue to do so. Wanted to touch on some things, some highlights from 2023, and then I wanted to share some thoughts going into the new year. And I've been spending holiday time with my family, really enjoying them, creating memories, enjoying the dog, my teenagers, my husband, and it's been great. Also, I'm feeling really proud of myself because the holidays, as I'm sure you can relate, Survivor, come with a lot of really emotionally challenging and traumatic milestones. I had my wedding anniversary, which was great, and I celebrated that with my husband. And also, but as you know from my video content, my wedding did not happen very easily and was almost ruined by my dad's behavior. But we celebrated 26 years of marriage, and also the anniversary of my dad's death, which was 2 days after Christmas. Got through that, and also the anniversary of the alleged unaliving his family, which I did a video about back a couple years back when I first started my channel and shared my story, because that was definitely a catalyst in me coming to the awareness about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I remember a few years back, I couldn't talk. I was really paranoid, anxious, upset, hyperventilating, having nightmares, super hyper vigilant, checking over my shoulder, the whole 9 yards. And I'm super proud to say that I got through this holiday season without all of that happening. And I could really feel the difference, if that makes sense. And hopefully you are too, as you've grown in your knowledge and also just the practical application of tactics to identify, navigate, and heal from narcissistically abusive relationships. So some of the highlights from 2023 include launching the Vibrant Survivor podcast. And that is my weekly podcast that I do. I drop episodes every Friday at 5 a.m. Mountain Time. And it's been great. I launched the podcast in January. It's been doing very well. And I have a lot more in store as far as the podcast is concerned going into the new year. Now, that being said, if you'd like for me to pop in here for a video from time to time, let me know in the comments below, and I'll take a look at the comments and we'll figure it out. But the channel has actually grown even without me dropping regular videos. I've had the podcast funnel over here so that you all can pop in your earbuds and listen, and you can comment and everything too. It's just that I'm not on camera. So that's been really great. I've learned so much and grown a lot, and it's been really good. And I've really tried to take a very tactical approach in helping to bridge the gap between trauma and wellness, specifically with regard to narcissistic abuse. So hope you're enjoying that, and let me know in the comments below. I have some notes here too. The other thing I wanted to share with you from 2023 is that I was able to attend a few conferences. Here's the thing. When you are learning about trauma and specifically learning about narcissism and narcissistic abuse, it's not kind of a one and done thing. And healing is a journey. It's just not like an instantaneous thing. There's always something to learn. There's always an opportunity to grow. And I consider myself to be a lifelong learner. And if you're like me, survivor, then you are always looking for opportunities to expand your knowledge and your awareness and to just really deepen your understanding of what has happened to you. Not only that, but how to move forward in a healthy way. So I was able to attend the Trauma Research Foundation Social Justice Conference this year, which was awesome, with Dr. Bessel van der Kolk and his wife, Alicia. And also, I was able to go to their annual trauma conference, which was amazing. And then I attended a plant-based nutrition healthcare conference and got to interact with a lot of plant-based lifestyle medical professionals and health practitioners, wellness experts, and even got to conduct some interviews there. So that was amazing. And I was able to attend a dream planning workshop with some wonderful ladies and do some planning for 2024. You know, narcissists waste a lot of our time. They compromise our health. They can contribute to the compromising of our health and well-being, but also waste our time. And so it was really cool to be able to learn more about ways to just build upon my plant-based knowledge and also just even do better in terms of my own eating and feeding my family and just getting creative, lowering the amount of processed food that we take in and really going for more whole food plant-based. And with the dream planning workshop, just really looking at things like how I want to spend the year, and also doing things like coming up with systems and doing time blocking and scheduling with my husband and planning and dreaming and thinking big. And those are the kinds of things that really minimize the amount of opportunities that the narcissist has to waste your time and distract you. Another thing that I was able to do this year was to tap into the healing power of music. And I actually did an episode about this. And I had a bucket list concert that I had yet to attend, and I got to do that this year. I took myself to Vegas and took myself out to dinner and got dressed up and went to see Johnny Mathis. And it was so cool just to see him in concert. He's 88, and that was amazing to be able to go and listen to this man fill this auditorium with music, specifically some of his greatest hits, but also some Christmas music for the season, and to be able to just kind of let that wash over me, but in a setting that had nothing to do with my traumatic, narcissistically abusive childhood. And it was really, really cool to be able to experience that shift in my body, in my brain, when I saw him in person, but also just listening to the music and then, singing and just kind of, moving to the music with other people in community and experiencing the healing that provided. Another thing, speaking of community, is that I was able to attend the grand opening of a healing center dedicated to SA survivors in and near my community, and I will be doing some cool things with them in the new year. So I'm super excited about that and can't wait to share more. And also, speaking of community, I don't know if you've seen this in your news, but in my community here, there was an absolutely vicious attack on a teenage boy in our community, not too far from where I live, and he was brutally assaulted, and he actually passed away from his injuries. And there is a group of kids, actually, a group of teenagers that are actually terrorizing and bullying and assaulting teenagers in our community. And it's a huge deal here. And I would expect it to reach national news if it hasn't already. But his name's Preston Lord, and he just was an innocent bystander and was chosen for assault and maybe even targeted, but mistakenly so, allegedly. And he unfortunately passed away. And so the community has been in an uproar about this, and apparently these assaults have been happening for a while. And it's kind of hard to be a parent of teens right now, to be honest with you. But some progress has been made because a lot of us have band together and really taken a stand against this really extreme form of narcissistic abuse. I mean, we're kind of in sociopathic, psychopathic territory at this point, and we've taken a stand and not tolerating it. And people are coming forward, exposing the truth, sharing what they know, calling people out. Like it's big. And I had the opportunity to speak at a town council meeting about narcissism and the behavior that we're experiencing, and also just express some concerns as a mother of teens in the community. And I attended another town council meeting where I was able to interact with other people who are also speaking up and speaking out in front of leadership about this incident. And I got to talk to some victims and parents of teen victims of these assaults, and it's just heartbreaking. And trust me, the behavior is the same that we talk about here on the channel, right? And it's the same pattern of behavior, the same kind of tactics, the gaslighting, the bullying, the intimidation, the retaliation, the fear of exposure. You see some of the same things come up. And I will talk about this very soon, definitely on the podcast. But it's been really good to be able to be an upstander and to take all of this knowledge and experience that I've had, because as you know, survivor, I had experience with an unaliving case that is still going on. So this particular instance with Preston and the Gilbert Goonies, or Gilbert Goons, has hit me a little differently because of what I experienced with the alleged unaliver, who is still awaiting trial. But anyway, so there's healing power in community, survivor, and I've been able to experience that, and it's a beautiful thing. And I'm going to continue to work with members of my community to figure out what other things we can do to support Preston's family, to protect our children and community at large, and to just let officials know that we will not tolerate this kind of behavior, and that there's just no excuse for it. And I'm certain, and we've been told, that arrests will be coming soon. So if you aren't familiar, you can Google Preston Lord, Gilbert Goonies, and some articles should pop up about that. I may link one in the description box below. But at any rate, pray for us, and that justice is served very quickly and thoroughly. On all fronts, and that everyone involved is held accountable, that he didn't die in vain. So anyway, some thoughts about 2023. It's been an amazing year. I'm very grateful. I've been able to create some beautiful memories with my family, been able to experience some great growth for myself personally, professionally. And I'm really happy about that, really proud of that, and been able to help other people along the way on their healing journeys. And I want to reiterate to you, survivor, that trauma isn't about what happened in the past. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk really said some insightful things during this conference that I attended recently. And it's more about how what happened in the past is impacting your ability to live now. That's what it's really about. So if you look at it that way, you can see where listening to people recycle what happened, or kind of remind you of what your ex did or things like that, and kind of going around in circles and rehashing the same stuff over and over again, doesn't really serve you when it comes to moving forward on your healing journey. From a trauma-informed perspective, it's about coming from a position of strength. Like, what are you working with? What's one thing that you're working with, or one strength that you can build on, versus rehashing the same stuff? The narcissist did this, the narcissist does that, the narcissist did this or that. That keeps you stuck in what happened versus operating from a strength-based place. Does that make sense? I want to encourage you to keep educating yourself, definitely, but also to seek to apply the knowledge and really look for ways to be practical and tactical in applying what you're learning about narcissism and narcissistic abuse, and taking steps to take back your power, because you have the power. You are the prize. And the narcissist doesn't want you to know that, but that's a fact. And I want to encourage you to go into the new year with focus and clarity. My word for 2023, and that's something that you could even do practically, is to pick a word for the new year. This year, my word was intentional. And when I look back at the year, I'm like, boy, I really kept thinking about that throughout the year, like being intentional, even in the way that I show up. Like, I kind of backed off of social media a little bit, but when I did show up on social media, it was with the intention of sharing something of value that would help people to move forward, that would educate, that would enlighten, that would empower people, or inspire or encourage them, as opposed to just, look at me, I'm over here, or just more kind of vapid sharing. So that's just one example. But just choosing a word for 2024, I'm actually fine-tuning mine. I think I know what it's going to be, but I'm still kind of fine-tuning it and debating over a couple of little options. But I'm going to have another word for 2024 that I'm going to be able to think about, put in my planner, look at every day, and think about, okay, how am I applying this right now? Or reminding myself when I feel like I'm kind of going into a slump, or kind of stalling out, or don't know, what to do, or facing a decision, or what have you, going back to my word of the year. So I encourage you to try it. And then also just in continuing to increase your language around narcissism and narcissistic abuse, and seeking to really call it what it is, and to not be afraid to do that, and to stand in your truth, stand firmly in it, and to not let anyone sway you from that, to allow yourself to know what you know, like I mentioned in a recent episode of the podcast, and to not let people talk you out of that, or gaslight you, or dismiss or devalue you. And I think that if you can do those things, and while prioritizing your health and well-being, and the way that you live, move in terms of exercising, your mindset or attitude, and how you nourish your body, that will help you to achieve success and move forward on your healing journey. And finally, I want to encourage you to celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small. And I think even if there's one thing that you can look at, like, hey, you know what, I did it. Even if it's a little thing, every win counts. I was tempted to drink, and that's not really good for me, or the best for me. And I chose to go for a walk. Whatever it is, or I took myself to go get pampered, for the first time in months, and it felt so good. Or, hey, I didn't think about the narcissist, or I didn't look at their social media. That's a win. Celebrate it. Please, and be kind to yourself. I think a lot of times we beat ourselves up because we're not at the pinnacle of, healing. Well, not that there is such a thing. It's an ongoing journey, but to really not beat yourself up for what you're not doing, or what you don't have, or what you didn't do, or didn't realize, or didn't notice, or pick up on. but to celebrate what you are doing and what you do have and what you can do, tomorrow, how you can kick off the new year, how you can end tonight on a high note, maybe with a grounding meditation or a warm bath and some aromatherapy. Treating yourself to a nice little dessert and counting down, or just cuddling up with your fur baby if you have one. See? Anyway, I hope that you have a safe, happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. I look forward to seeing you in the new year. And thank you so much again for your support. It really means a lot. So I look forward to reading your comments. And I want to encourage you, share your wins in the comments. Even if it's just one thing, share your wins in the comments. Or if you feel like, hey, I don't have any to share one way that you want to win. Share a win that you'd like to be able to celebrate or have in 2024. You're not alone and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with. Know who you are. Happy New Year. I love you so much and I really appreciate you being here. I'll see you in the new year. Bye-bye.